Please rise.
Oh, he's so handsome.
The Criminal Court of La Puente, California is now in session. The Honorable Judge George presiding. Everyone but the jury may be seated. We are now going to swear in the jury. Members of the jury, please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly listen to this case and render a true verdict and a fair sentence to this defendant? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. You may be seated. Members of the jury, your duty today will be to determine whether the defendant, Ruben Zuno, is guilty or not guilty, based on only the facts and evidence presented in this case. The prosecution must prove that the crime was committed and that the defendant is the person who committed it. However, if you are not satisfied with the defendant's guilt, to the extent that reasonable doubt exists, and the defendant must be found not guilty. Today's case is, again, the case of Ruben Zuno. Is the prosecution ready?
Yes.
Okay. Is the defense ready?
Yes.
Okay. We are going to start today. Guys, do not be making noise. We're recording this. So, we're going to start today with opening statements. If we could first have a brief opening statement from the prosecution.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for being here today. Mrs. Michelle Borrayo is no longer with us, and we believe that Ruben Zuno is responsible for the heinous action and tragic loss. Mrs. Michelle Borrayo was an impactful high school teacher, wife, and great friend. Our community mourns the loss of this amazing woman, and our community relies on people like you, the jury, to make sure that when a terrible act is committed, you are able to do your duty and serve justice. The next few days, you will hear from different people who will tell you what they know about the events of May 9, 2024. You will see evidence that will help you understand the truth. Our job is to prove to you that Ruben Zuno, without a reasonable doubt, took Mrs. Michelle Borrayo's young life away. This evidence might include things like objects recovered in the investigation and eyewitness testimony, which can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Ruben committed this crime. All of this is to help you piece together the story of what really happened. This case is about finding the truth and making sure that justice is done. We trust that you will listen carefully to all the information, think about it, and help us find the right answer. It is important to remember that Mrs. Michelle Borrayo was a strong and youthful woman with a family, friends, and dreams. They deserve to have their story heard and for the person responsible to be held accountable. Thank you for your attention and for taking on this important responsibility. We believe that together we can uncover the truth and bring justice for Mrs. Borrayo and her loved ones.
Thank you. Okay, defense, if you would make a brief opening statement.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is John Rodriguez, and I am representing Ruben Zuno here. Today, we embark to uncover the truth that's been obscured by assumptions, bias, and regrettably, the color of my client's skin. In our society, we strive for justice that is blind to race, color, and creed. Yet, we must acknowledge that the scales of justice sometimes tip unfairly. The evidence in this case will show that from the very beginning, my client was not treated as an individual, but as a suspect due to his race. Witnesses who have not been consciously intended to do so, viewed and interpreted his actions through limited by societal biases. The investigation, driven by skewed perceptions, was not conducted with the impartiality that our justice system demands. You will hear testimony about how Ruben was identified and arrested based on descriptions that were vague and generalized, fitting many men of his racial background. You'll see that crucial evidence was overlooked or ignored, and that assumptions were made, not based on facts, but on racial stereotypes. It's not easy to confront these uncomfortable truths, but it is necessary for the sake of justice. As jurors, you're the guardians of that justice. You must look beyond the surface, beyond the prejudice that can cloud judgment, and focus solely on the facts presented in the courtroom. In conclusion, this case is not about Ruben and the charges he faces. It is about ensuring that our justice system works fairly and impartially, regardless of race. I trust that you will do your duty with integrity, and at the end of this trial, I am confident that you will find Ruben Zuno not guilty. Thank you.
Okay, prosecution. Would you like to call your first witness to the stand? Can't call. That's his constitutional right.
No. Okay.
Well, your first witness.
You can do that. They already picked you.
You can't. You're starting with your own witnesses.
It's our people's.
It's your witnesses.
Get close. Hey, Ruben's 3, bro.
Okay, our first witness is Brand. Brand, please approach the witness stand. Huh? Yeah, if you need it, yeah. Okay, before you have a seat, you could put your hand on this Bible.
I have that same Bible.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. Okay, so Bram, how long have you known Mrs. Borrayo, and how long have you been a neighbor?
I've been her neighbor for about 5 years.
5 years, okay. So you've known her for a decent time.
Yeah.
Do you like Mrs. Borrayo and her husband? Are they generally good people?
Yeah, but I have my suspicions of her cheating sometimes.
So you're suspicious of them. That means you pay close attention to them.
Yeah.
Is it true that you suspected that she was having some type of affair?
Yes.
Why did you think that?
Because her current boyfriend is Mexican.
Because they're Mexican. So you're naturally suspicious of Mexican.
Yeah.
And where were you on the night of the murder?
I was at home.
You're at home. What were you doing at home?
I was watching Fox News.
And what do you remember hearing, or what happened on the night?
So, after I stopped watching Fox News at around 11 p.m., I look around her house to see, everything's okay, because from what I remember, she was on a business trip.
Wait, she was on her business trip. I thought her husband was on the business trip. So she was at home.
She was at home.
She was at home, correct? And do you remember seeing anyone break into the house or anything like that?
Yeah, so as I was looking at her house, I see a car driving by the neighborhood very slowly, very suspicious.
Yeah. Did the person driving the car park and get out of the car?
Yeah, he parked in front of Mrs. Borrayo's house.
And what was he wearing?
A man bun and was that black shirt right there?
I'll take the shirt, buddy.
Oh.
Okay, and you saw him enter the house.
Yeah, so he went around from the back and was going through his tools, and I heard breaking.
You heard breaking. And did you hear anything else after that from the house?
Yeah, so I heard Miss Borrayo scream. The break-in occurred, and then from what I remember, like about 10 seconds later, a gunshot went off.
And did you see this individual that got out of the car? Did you see him leave the house?
Yeah, he left the house.
How did he leave the house?
He went back from the window with a lot of jewelry.
Did he seem to be in a rush to leave?
Yeah.
And did he get back in his car and leave?
Yeah.
What color was the car?
It was white.
No further questions.
Okay. Defense, you may now have cross-examination of the witness.
Good morning, Mr. Brand. How you doing today? Okay. I need you to just simply, can you describe exactly what you saw in perfect detail?
So what I saw was I was looking at my front window to look at, Mrs. Borrayo's house. And from what I remember, I see a car driving by really slowly, suspiciously, looking around the neighborhood. And as I see through the car, I see that he's Mexican. So
Is it not late at night?
It is late at night. It's about 11 p.m. But I saw that he was Mexican, so I really paid close attention to him. So then, after that, I saw he parked right in front of Miss Borrayo's house, and he got out walking all suspicious, observing her house, with a bag of tools and stuff.
So what would you say was your distance between you and the event
My distance?
from your window?
So this is my house right here, and this is her house right here.
Were there any obstructions between you and the incident? Any trees, bushes,
No.
fences between the houses?
No, she was.
What was the lighting like at the time of day? At the time?
Oh, like I said, it was 11 p.m., so it was dark.
Okay, good to know. What was the weather? Good weather? Clear sky?
Yeah, it was good weather. It was cool.
Were any noises or distractions that were going on in your house? Any TVs on? Any?
Yeah, I did have my TV on, but after I, finished watching Fox News, I turned it off.
What were you immediately doing before you witnessed the event?
I was watching Fox News.
How long did you observe the incident?
Like a good, I'd say a good minute or two.
Have you given a statement to the police or anyone else? How does that compare to this statement?
Yeah, I called the police saying like a break-in occurred and that I heard a gunshot, and the officer came in moments later.
What time would you say you made that call?
I probably made the call like at around 11, like 11:10.
Were you wearing glasses or contact lenses at the time?
Nah.
Were you under the influence of any substances?
Nah.
How well can you see? How well can you see? Do you need glasses to see?
Nah, I have 20/20 vision.
How sure are you about the identification of the suspect?
I'm pretty sure because one, he was Mexican, he had a man bun, and I'm not sure.
Were there any distinctive features or clothing that stood out?
The man bun. As you can see right there.
Were there any other? Do you know anyone else who could have seen this incident?
Just me.
Did anything unusual happen before or after the event that may have affected your recollection?
Yeah, so I saw that he, went back in his car with a bunch of jewelry, so he obviously robbed her after he killed her.
Okay, I think for the sake of time, we're gonna stop it there. Thank you, Mr. Graham. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. Okay, come on up, Mr. Gabriel.
Hey, whoa, racism.
Okay, if you could place your hand on the Bible. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, you may begin the examination of Mr. Gabriel.
All right. So, Gabriel, where were you the night of May 9th?
I was at In-N-Out.
You're at In-N-Out, correct? And when you're at In-N-Out, did you run into anyone?
I saw Ruben at In-N-Out.
What time was this at?
Like 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Okay. And when you ran into Ruben at In-N-Out, how did his personality seem?
He was kind of in a hurry.
Kind of in a hurry. And what kind of car was he driving? What color was it? White. And inside his car, what did you see inside his car?
I saw a hammer, crowbar, and a pistol.
Hammer, crowbar, and a pistol. When you when you approached Ruben's car, was the window down?
Yeah.
It was down, so easy to see. And what type of gun was it?
Just a small handgun,
Small handgun. And what was Ruben wearing?
like a black shirt, some tan pants.
Nice. And how long have you known Ruben before?
Since high school.
And how has his behavior been since high school?
In and out of trouble.
In and out of trouble. Okay. And did you interact with Ruben? Did you talk to him? You saw him?
Yeah, I was just trying to catch up with him because I didn't see him in a while.
But he still seemed nervous. And
Yeah, he seemed like he was in a hurry to leave.
all right. Thank you. No further question.
Okay, defense, you may now begin cross-examination.
How you doing? Gabriel? Really good. Good day. Sorry you have to be in court. So, you've known Ruben before, right? How would you say your relationship was before you left high school?
I'd say we were pretty close.
Were there any events that happened that may have driven a stake between you two?
We just like went separate ways after high school.
What time were you at In and Out? What was Ruben doing there? Like when you were around?
He was in his car. I'm guessing he was getting food at In and Out.
Do you know Ruben personally over the past, like, what was the level of contact you've had with Ruben
Like,
over the past 2 years outside of high school? Was this the first time you've seen Ruben?
nah, I saw him occasionally.
No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Okay, prosecution, you would like to call your next witness?
Somebody call high school boy.
We're gonna call Dr. Dustin.
Okay, Dr. Dustin, approach the stand.
Let's go just sleep on game, man.
Okay, if you could place your hand on this Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Okay, you may begin direct examination of the witness.
He's guilty.
Okay, Dr. Dustin, what time did Ruben come into the ER?
He came in around midnight.
What was his condition when he arrived?
He seemed very disoriented and he was acting suspiciously, and he also had an injured hand.
Injured hand. And did he ever state what happened that night?
He said that he got injured working as a handyman, but when I asked more questions, he was silent and gave no further details.
What was he wearing when he came in?
He was wearing a black and gold shirt and tan joggers.
And was there any blood or rips on his clothing?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did Ruben have a patched up hand to stop the bleeding, or was his hand in plain view?
His hand was in plain view when he came in.
And that type of injury, the hand injury, what kind of instances can cause such an injury?
I would say that only severe trauma, like jumping through a glass window, could cause that type of injury.
Did you give anything to Ruben, such as medications or something that's like that?
I treated his wounds, and I noticed that there was a lot of glass in his hand, and I had to remove all the pieces and sew and bandage his hand.
And you said he was acting very suspicious?
Yes.
And you also say that only jumping through a window can cause that type of injury.
Yes.
No further questions.
Okay, defense, if you would like cross-examination.
Morning, Dr. Dustin, how you doing? It's fine.
Pretty good.
Can you please state your full name and occupation?
Dr. Dustin Flanders.
Where did you receive your medical education and training?
UCLA.
How long have you been practicing medicine?
30 years.
Can you describe your current role and responsibilities at the hospital?
I currently work in the ER at Kaiser Hospital.
How many cases similar to this one have you handled in your career?
Not too many, but a few.
Is this the first time you've seen Ruben at your hospital, or has he been there before?
This is the first time I've worked with him.
Can you describe the initial condition and symptoms that Ruben presented with?
He just came into the hospital with a lacerated hand and he needed medical attention.
What diagnosis did you make upon examining Ruben?
I made the diagnosis that he just had a bunch of lacerations on his hand and it had so much shattered glass that it was probably caused by severe trauma.
Thank you, Dr. Dustin. Okay, prosecution, if you would like to call your final witness.
Officer Hernandez.
Okay, first to stand, Officer Hernandez. Okay, please place your hand on this Bible. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may begin direct examination.
Officer Hernandez. What time did you receive a call from HQ?
11:15.
11:15. And what was the call you got called in for?
You can get your paper if you need
There were shots fired in the break.
And was it at Mrs. Borrayo's home?
Yes, it was.
And you had to go investigate it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what did you see when you get there?
I saw a shattered back window with blood on the ground leading up to her room upstairs.
Okay. And what did you see when you followed the trail of blood?
I saw her dead body on the floor of her bedroom.
And did you find anything stolen from the house?
Jewelry.
Found stolen jewelry. And who do you reckon the blood was from?
Looked like it could have been from Sir Ruben over here. Had a little bit of struggle opening that glass window.
Your Honor,
Blood.
objection, speculation.
Objection sustained.
And how long have you known Ruben for?
I know him since high school, actually. Yeah, he's a bit of trouble kid.
Trouble kid. What else can you say about him when he was in high school?
Nothing much. He was just a trouble kid, you know. But I will say that in my years of serving, I have had some encounters with Sir Ruben over here. Had some greedy little hands on some jewelry before. Caught him.
Okay, so he has prior run-ins with the law.
Yes, sir.
And when you saw Mrs. Borrayo's dead body, what was her injuries?
She was shot in the head.
Shot in the head. Oh, and also, since high school, what kind of car has Ruben been driving?
2005, white Toyota Corolla.
White Toyota Corolla. And the night after the murder, you went to Ruben's house, is that correct?
You are correct, sir. Yep.
And when you went to his house, did you already have a search warrant to look in the house?
Yes, sir.
And with that search warrant, you intended on searching the house, right?
Yes, sir.
When you went to search the house, how long did it take them to answer the door?
It took quite their time. It was a bit rude.
Did you have to make forced entry into the house?
Yes, I did.
And did you find any evidence inside the house?
No, I didn't find any evidence.
And when you went into the house, when you saw Ruben, what was he wearing?
He was wearing that same black shirt and tan pants.
How did he look when you were going in for the arrest?
He looked high as a fly.
And
you see anything suspicious about the car or inside the house?
No, couldn't see. They couldn't find a thing.
But it took them over the time to answer the door, so you had to make a forced entry.
Yes, I did, sir. Yep.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, defense, you may begin cross-examination.
Yeah, I do. Good evening, Officer Hernandez. How are you doing this fine evening?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Yeah. Can you describe your training you received on recognizing and preventing racial bias in law enforcement?
I'm sorry, can you ask that again?
Can you describe the training you received on recognizing and preventing racial bias in law enforcement?
Well, we don't get that a lot here in La Puente, so there's no need.
Often do you undergo training on implicit bias and cultural sensitivity?
A few months.
Have you ever been the subject of racial bias or misconduct?
Never. Look at me. Never.
Do you have any prior knowledge or description of suspects before encountering Ruben?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any prior knowledge or description of Ruben?
Oh, yes. Well, as I said before, he was a troubled kid in high school, and I had a couple encounters at my time being a sheriff.
How did my client's race factor into your decision to arrest him?
Well, nothing really. Not because he's Mexican, just because, he did it. I've been with him, I know his past, so, he did it.
What specific evidence did you have at the time to establish probable cause for the arrest?
Well, for one, it took a while to open the door, and I do have a witness that said that he saw that 2005 Toyota Corolla. It's white, by the way. So I put two and two together, you get four. So it was obviously him.
Can you describe the procedure you followed to ensure the arrest was justified and unbiased?
Well, I got a warrant, and they opened the door, and with my power and warrant, I opened the door, and I saw him high as a fly, and he was matching wearing black and tan. It's like everything matched, everything was good. So probable cause. There you go, sir.
How did you arrest my client during the stop/arrest?
Well, he was sitting on the couch, like this, and I was like, "Stop! You're under arrest." And I said, "You're under arrest for the robbery and killing of what's her name? Her." And then I took him in, and I read him his Miranda rights. Yep.
Have you conducted arrests in this neighborhood before?
A few times.
What percentage of those were same race as my client?
I would say like 14%.
Percentage.
14%.
No further question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so with that, we conclude the first half of the trial. We are now going to transition to the defense. So the defense will get to call up their own witnesses, have direct examination, and the prosecution will get cross-examination. Defense, if you would like to call up your first witness.
We'd like to call up Angie.
Okay, come on up, Angie. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
How are you doing today?
Good.
So can you please go through the list of events of what happened when you saw Ruben and when you left the house?
So I got home around 7 because I had work, and he was already at the house, and he told me that he had to go to a job and he had to fix a window, and he said it was going to be a little late, so he might come home late.
Does Ruben have a 9-to-5 job, or does he work as a handyman, picking up money?
No, he just works as a handyman.
Okay, so would you say he's a hardworking person? Like he would go to a job even at this time of night? Okay. So did Ruben have his tools with him?
No,
Who gave him to him?
his friend Zion.
Around what time?
And around 8 p.m.
And so in between that 7 to 8 p.m. and the time you left, what were you and Ruben doing?
We were together watching Netflix, Shameless, season 3, episode 2.
Alright. So what was he wearing that whole time?
He was wearing black and khaki pants.
And then after he got home from the job, was he fine? Was he normal?
No, he had an injury on his hand.
And did he stay or did he leave to the doctors?
Well, he didn't want to go to the doctor, but I kept telling him he needed to, and we argued about it, so I made him drive there by himself.
That's it, no further questions.
Okay, prosecution, if you would like to conduct cross-examination.
Okay. So, what were you doing on May 9th? Can you give us a description of your whole day?
I woke up early, I got ready, and then I went to my job at Applebee's where I'm a waitress, and I worked there till 7. So it's not too far from my house, so I got home around 7 too.
7 to 8. And you stated that Ruben arrived home around 7. Can you confirm that?
He was already at the house.
He was already at the house when you were. Okay. And then at 8 p.m. you mentioned that Ruben left the house. What was he doing between 7 to 8?
He didn't leave the house, he stayed here, and then Zion dropped off his tools that he had to go to for his job.
And then you mentioned that Ruben returned home around 11:30. Can you describe his conditions and his appearance at the time? Did he have any blood on him, or was he sweating? Was he suspicious?
No, he just said that he hurt his hand working at his job. That's really it.
And then when Ruben hurt his hand, when he was home, was it patched up, and preventing any more bleeding, or was it just in plain view for you to see already?
It was in plain view.
And when he walked in, was he carrying his clothes with him?
Yes.
Did you see a gun?
No
Any
gun.
gun? You didn't see any jewelry? And what tools exactly did you see him with?
I only saw a hammer and a crowbar.
Sorry, I lost my place. You said Ruben left for the hospital around 11:45, is that correct?
Yeah, around 11:30.
11:30? So did you ever question why Ruben drove all the way back to Anaheim? Because that's where you guys live, correct? And he was working in West Covina. So did you ever question why he didn't go to the ER in West Covina and why he drove all the way back home and then went back to the ER?
I didn't question it because he's been going there since he was little.
And did you accompany Ruben to the hospital?
I was upset, so I made him drive by himself.
You made him drive by himself with an injured hand. So he was just driving with one hand to the hospital. When Ruben came back around 2 a.m., did he have any paperwork or prescriptions from the ER?
Yeah, just pain medicine.
Just pain medicine?
That's really it.
And that was it? What happened after that?
We went to sleep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Angie. Okay, defense, if you'd like to call your next witness.
We'd like to call Zion.
Okay. Come on up, Mr. Zion.
Hey, bro, what are you doing?
Hey, chill out, bro. You racist.
You guys had all this time to discuss, and now look at you guys.
Your Honor,
Order.
Yeah,
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Okay, let's see. 1 second. Christian and
Whoa.
Bella.
Oh.
E.
Alright, 1 and 1.
Yeah, they want you to bring your laptops to the studies office. Maybe not.
Alright, now?
I think we may be a little busy.
Okay.
Here, actually,
No, it's fine. I'll miss it.
okay, I'll tell them that we're like doing a test or something.
They walk
Let's
in,
see,
they
can
see
someone
this.
actually, can someone from the jury go tell them? There we go. Here, so just tell them, Luis is not here, no, we're doing a test. Okay, we begin direct examination of the witness. Order.
Order. Defense. Or prosecution.
Alright, so can you, to the best of your ability, recall what happened that night?
So around about 4, Ruben called me. He said he didn't have his tools with him, and then he needed some tools for a handyman job. So that was around like 4, and I was like, what time you want me to drop him off at? He was like 7:45-ish. I got there about 8. I was a little late. And I gave him the tools, and I went home.
Alright, seems pretty, self-explanatory, but can you just tell me what he was wearing exactly?
I don't remember exactly. Probably like black, gold, typical Ruben colors.
Honestly, that's about it. That's all I have for you. Thank you.
Okay. Defense, you want to conduct? Yes.
Like, can I like add like, well, if he's not gonna talk, what was he doing like before, like that whole day? Like, was he
Who?
like Ruben?
Ruben? Well, he can't go onto the stand if he doesn't want to, so you'll have to make do with the cross-examining the defense witnesses.
So, how long have you known Ruben?
My whole life.
Your whole life?
Yeah, everyone's one of my best friends.
Alright. And are you aware of Ruben's history, including like his drug use and criminal record?
Yeah, but he's changed for the better since then.
He changed for the better?
Yeah, I've been with him since then.
But he's been in and out of trouble now. Isn't that what the sheriff said?
I guess, yeah.
You
But I
guys, aren't
said
you his best
recently
friend,
he's
so
been on.
shouldn't you know, like,
Yeah, but I said recently he's been on an upward trend. He's been good.
So, you mentioned to us that you often go to a shooting range with Ruben. How long have you guys been doing that together?
A few years.
A few years. So, is Ruben proficient with shooting a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what type of guns is Ruben like particularly skilled at using when you go to the shooting range?
Rifles.
Primary rifles?
Yeah.
On the day of the incident, you stated that you dropped off a crowbar, a hammer, and a rifle at Ruben's place around 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Did Ruben tell you why he needed these specific tools?
Yeah, he said he was doing a handyman job, fixing a window in a dangerous part of town, so he asked for a rifle.
So, like, it didn't make sense to you that, like, with Ruben's, like, criminal history and stuff, like, he wasn't man enough that he had to ask for a gun?
I wouldn't say that. Like I said, he's been on an upward trend. He's been good. I didn't really see an issue with that.
But, like, that makes sense to you? Like,
Yeah,
Ruben's
Ruben's
all
my
like
best
over
friend,
here
I
getting
trust
into
him.
trouble, but all of a sudden he's going to a dangerous part and he just needs a gun?
You know, ever since he's been going to therapy, he's been good, so I would have an issue trusting him. But, you know, we go to the range all the time. It's all been safe, so I'd have a problem giving him a gun.
But let's just confirm, the first time you were questioned you mentioned that you gave Ruben a rifle. However, the second time we questioned you, you stated that it was actually a pistol. Can you clarify this?
I don't remember saying a pistol. I'm pretty sure I said I don't know, and you guys kept questioning me, so I got kind of
Well,
confused.
This is for the jury. Just to clarify, we have a witness confirming that it was actually a pistol that was given to Ruben. Gabriel Landeros can confirm this when he saw Ruben around 9 p.m. at In-N-Out. When he went to the back, when he was viewing through his window, and he actually saw a pistol.
There's no evidence I gave him that pistol, though.
But you said you gave him a rifle.
Yeah, I gave him a rifle. And you said you saw him with a pistol.
But the second time we questioned you, you said it was actually a pistol.
No, I said I don't know.
Alright. Okay, well, we have that on voice memo if you guys want to hear that, so let's just put that there.
I feel like you guys were asking me a lot of questions.
Given Ruben's criminal history, why did you insist on giving him a gun? Like it was illegal for him to have weapons on him. So
Like
why
I
did you think
said,
it was okay?
like I said before, he's been going to therapy. He's been on the
But
upward
that
track.
doesn't mean like, he can be getting good, but that doesn't mean he's allowed to have guns.
Well, I trust him. That's my friend.
So like, you didn't care if you guys had a gun.
No, that's my friend. I trust him.
You know what I'm saying for you on your part?
Yeah, no, that's my friend. I trust him.
Okay. Has Ruben ever borrowed any other guns before that you own?
Only at the shooting range.
At the shooting range?
Yeah.
Does he return them? Because you also stated that majority of your guns vanish.
Yeah, I lose my guns. I'm not really good at keeping up with them. I have a lot of them.
Has Ruben lost any of your guns?
Not that I could think of. No.
Were you?
I don't want to disclose that.
You didn't have to disclose that?
I mean, it's on court record.
Oh, okay, well, I live in Anaheim near Ruben.
Okay, so what time did you leave your house to get to Ruben's place?
Like 7:45-ish.
And you got there at 8?
Yeah.
And you mentioned arriving at Ruben's house at 8 p.m. You dropped off the gun and the tools. You can confirm that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever ask Ruben why he wanted to bring the gun?
He told me it was because he was going to a dangerous part of town.
So just for his safety?
Yeah.
No further questions?
Thank you. Okay, defense, if you'd like to call your next witness.
I'm calling Christian. Well, I call it.
Let's call Christian.
Okay, come on out. Mr. Christian. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? May begin direct examination.
So, Mr. Christian, where do you live?
I live in Glendora.
Good. What were you doing the day of the suspected murder?
I was at home watching anime.
All day.
Basically.
All day. And what work did you need in your backyard that required Ruben Zuno's help?
I need my window to be fixed.
What was wrong with the window?
It was cracked.
Okay. And how do you know Ruben?
I know. I've been friends with him for a couple of years.
Okay, so why so late did you call Ruben?
Good. No, I called him the day before, but I called him at 7:45 as a reminder.
Okay. Why at night? Why was the job at night?
Because he might have construction jobs in the morning. If I called him, that would just interrupt his workflow.
You know Ruben's in between jobs, yes, right? So, what time did you say he showed up around your house?
Around 9:15.
Did you call Ruben at any time before the job started?
Yeah, like I said, 7:45 for a reminder. Also, I told him if he could get food for us.
Food?
Yeah.
What type of food would that be?
And he got me some animal fries and a nibble moon.
Okay. And what time would you say? 7:45, right? Okay, what time did you say the incident occurred that injured Ruben's head?
Around like 10, like midway through the job.
What can you describe the accident?
The accident, so he was repairing it, he was replacing the window, like he moved it from the frame, and it fell on him. And it hit his hand.
It was already cracked, yes?
Yes, it was very cracked.
Okay, so it was already previously weakened?
Yes.
Okay. What time did Ruben leave from the job?
10:30, around 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah.
Was his injury apparent?
It was pretty apparent, but during the job, he was like, I got it. And he as well be, because he said you got it, and you got it.
Do you trust Ruben?
Yeah, I trust
That he
him.
does a good job, right?
Yeah, he's a handyman, so I expect him to be quite handy.
Okay. No further questions.
All right, thank you.
The prosecution, if you would like to cross-examine the witness.
Oh, 1 second.
I've appointed you bailiff. Okay, you ready for cross-examination?
Can I just sit? Actually.
Nah, you gotta stand.
This is the rules.
Sorry. Christian, what were you doing on main night? Can you give us a detailed account of Ruben?
Oh, basically, I was just home watching some anime, you know, because I got laid off for it, but
The whole day, so you didn't leave your house?
no, I was watching anime.
Okay, and can you clarify the time that you called Ruben to help fix your window?
I called the day before, and then at 7:45, I called him as like a reminder that he needs to help me with my window.
And just to confirm, you actually have a criminal record yourself, right?
Yeah.
Convicted of tax evasion
Mhm.
and fraud, and you rip off the elderly?
Yeah.
Why would you call Ruben so late when it was already becoming dark outside? Like,
Well-
why around 7:45?
Because that's when I told him to the day before, and
You told him to come around 7:45 when it was getting dark.
yeah, because you know he's a job, you know, during the day.
But do you know what time Ruben gets out of work?
No, that's why I called him a bit late.
Around what time did Ruben say he would come over?
He didn't give me a disclosed time when he got here.
Okay, so you stated to us that Ruben arrived at your house around 9:15. By that time, it would have been completely dark outside, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted Ruben to work in bed with the cracked window,
I mean, the lights was on in the house, so he has a pretty good vision.
but you didn't think to like call him like during the day when it was daylight.
You'd be working, and that would interrupt his work.
Did you see the tools that Ruben brought with him inside the house?
He brought a crowbar and a hammer.
A hammer? And did you watch Ruben while he was working on your window?
Time to time.
Time to time?
Yeah.
Okay, so you only mentioned that you saw his tools. Ruben actually brought a gun for his safety considering the area of your house. Did you even know that Ruben had a gun with him? And were you comfortable with Ruben bringing a gun over to your house?
I was never disclosed of a gun, and I never knew he had a gun.
So you never knew that Ruben had a gun?
Yeah.
Okay. Around what time did Ruben leave?
10:30.
10:30? And what time did Ruben get hurt at?
Around like 10.
10?
Like,
Okay. It's stated that you supposedly helped Ruben fix the window after he got hurt. Is that true?
yes.
And that supposedly you had an extra glass for Ruben to put on after he injured his hand.
Well, yeah, because that was a cracked window, and I had a window replacement.
So you had an extra window after?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it correct that Ruben left your house exactly around 10:30?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you ever patch up Ruben's hand?
I offered him, and he's like, I got it, so I let him leave. Yeah.
So Ruben, guys, was injured at 10:05. He left at 10:30. What was he doing between 10:05 and 10:30?
Well, continue to fix the window. I also helped him when his hand was injured. And he said he's got it, so like I helped him.
So he injured his hand, and then you made him continue working to fix your window, and then he left.
Oh, I helped him with the window.
Exactly, but that was after he got hurt.
Yeah.
So you just made him work.
Objection. She keeps saying he's making him, but he keeps saying that he offered to help him, but Ruben's saying no, he doesn't need it. Why does she keep? Is she wants to
No,
keep
I'm
saying
saying that he, like,
That's
they
speculation,
kept
isn't it?
working on the window after Ruben got hurt.
Objection overruled, it's fine.
Wait, what are you asking? Like, what are you trying to prove?
Order.
Order, just examine the witness.
No, you keep
Just
making.
cross-examine the witness.
I think she let that guy go. He's a bit more confident.
Okay, but did you ever, like, question, like, the tools Ruben brought to your house? If he's fixing a window frame and it's cracked, you don't really need a hammer, nor do you need a crowbar if you're just replacing it.
Well, then how am I supposed to get out the window seat?
But you don't need a hammer for that.
You might need it. You never know. He doesn't know the entire like window frame condition.
But Ruben's a handyman, and he's been doing that job all his life. You should know the exact tools you need.
The tools will ensure. The tools will ensure that it will get everyone safe. And
Why
Okay,
did
we're running a little short on time, so maybe one final question.
Okay.
If you can hurry.
Okay, so you just allowed your to leave with an injured hand?
You said he's got it, so I let him.
Okay, and did you ever mention to him that he should go to the ER? Or you just like let him do whatever you wanted to do?
I mean, I keep on repeating it. He says he's got it, so I let him.
Did Ruben ever tell you where he was going after you left?
No.
Okay. So you never offered Ruben to like drive him to the ER? Like that wasn't your first instinct before you said you got it? Like did you ever say, oh hey, do you want me to drive you to the hospital before you said you got it?
No.
Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you. Okay, defense, would like to call your next witness.
I call Angie to stand.
Oh no, she's
Well,
already.
not Angie, Bella.
Okay, come on up, Mrs. Bella. You promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Good morning, Mrs. Bella. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. How long have you been a therapist for Mr. Ruben Zuno?
A few years now.
And how can you describe him when he first came to you?
Ruben had always been like a good person. Like I knew he had a good heart. Like he was kind and everything. I did see like he was struggling a little bit, but you know, he's a good person.
Prior to the event that was suspected to happen, how has he been in therapy?
He's been good. I mean, Ruben's really open about everything, like all his problems, what he's gone through his whole life. But you know, overall, he's been really good.
Were there anything he mentioned specifically before that we were struggling with that may have prompted you to flag him for any suspicious activity?
No.
He's been good?
Yes.
No further questions.
Cross-examination for the witness.
Okay, so Bella, how long have you known Ruben?
A few years now.
A few years now. And recently, how has Ruben been acting in your therapy session?
Normal, like he always does.
And you stated that he has been depressed since he lost his handyman job, is that correct?
Yes.
And you also stated that you didn't get a background check on Ruben before meeting with him, is that
No, I
correct?
did. I do know that.
So you're saying you did now, but you didn't when we first interviewed?
Yeah, Mr. George told me I did.
So on the day of May 9th, did Ruben show up to your scheduled therapy session?
No.
He did not show up. And on May 2nd, you say Ruben was discussing his depression, is that true?
Yeah.
And you also state that Ruben likes playing Fortnite, is that correct?
Yeah.
And Fortnite is a game involving violence and guns, correct? No further
Okay. Before we conclude, defense, I would just like to confirm that we are choosing not to call Mr. Ruben to the stand, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We are now going to begin closing statements. So once again, prosecution, you may go first, make a brief closing statement.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for your time and attention throughout this trial. We're here to seek justice for a serious crime, the murder of Mrs. Michelle Borrayo. As you reflect on the evidence presented, remember the facts and testimonies that have been shared. You heard from witnesses who saw the defendant, Ruben Zuno, at the scene of the crime. These witnesses, who had no reason to lie, provided consent and credible accounts of what they observed. You saw the physical evidence that links the defendant to the murder weapon. Evidence has been analyzed. The prosecution has determined that Mr. Zuno had the motive, the means, and the opportunity to commit this crime. With being breaking in and committing the crime at Mrs. Michelle Borrayo's house, to being at Christian's house fixing a window, to making a phone call to Zion. In these events, Ruben has been claimed to be at all these places around the same times. And we established that Mr. Zuno was at the scene of the murder, offering him the opportunity. In addition, you have seen how the defendant's actions following the crime were not those of an innocent person. Thank you for your time and consideration.
And defense, if you'd like to make a brief closing statement.
So, to the jury, it's been proven through the use of the witnesses that they're saying Ruben was wearing an all-black outfit. He was found with tools that was used. He was found a pistol when Zion gave him a rifle, which doesn't line up. But we've proved that Ruben, he was wearing a black and gold shirt, khaki pants when it was clean. He was wearing an all-black pants and all-black shirt, a white shirt, then it was switched to a black shirt, and then a black shirt and all-black pants from Brandon over there. But that doesn't line up with what we've been proven he was wearing. And also, they claim that Ruben came into the back window, right? He broke into the back window, but he parked in front of the house with the white car. Why would he go
Judge,
around?
we said front window. We said front window. We never stayed in the back window.
Brand said back window.
Back window? Yes, back window.
Back window.
Yeah, we're not allowed to introduce new evidence in the, new evidence or arguments in the closing statement.
But like, is it just something I said though?
Right.
Like when we first asked Zion, he said he gave Ruben a rifle. The second time we interrogated Zion, he then said he gave him a pistol.
He never said pistol. He
We
always
have
said
it on
rifle.
voice recording.
Play it back. Run it back.
Can't use new
We can play the footage for
You
the
wanna
jury
play it?
before deliberation.
Let's just play it.
Continue your closing statement.
Okay. So we've proved through the evidence of witnesses that Ruben was not there. He was working with Christian on a window, and whoever ran the racist claims to see it was not Ruben. He's putting a Mexican with a bun and a black shirt, and automatically putting it with Ruben for some reason. And he's been proved to be a racist. So
Is he not Mexican?
Order. Defense is speaking.
So, and with that, I close my statement, and Ruben is innocent.
Okay, we are now going to begin jury deliberations. So, men and women of the jury.
Wait, we have a voice recording.
Yes, if you could play the evidence for the jury, and we are going to begin jury deliberations. So, jury, you are first going to decide if you think Ruben is guilty or not guilty. If you believe that Ruben is guilty, the vote must be unanimous. If you decide that Ruben is guilty, we are in a state that also has jury sentencing. So if you decide that Ruben is guilty unanimously, you guys must also select a punishment. The punishment can be decided by a majority. Any questions, men and women of the jury? Go. So, real quick, before we start, the tradition for juries is we do an initial vote. So before any deliberation, we're going to do a quick vote of guilty or not guilty. So we'll start with Kalani. So what is your initial vote?
Wait, we're not ready yet.
No, we do a vote before deliberation.
Oh.
So this is just your initial opinion. Guilty or not? Okay, guilty? Not guilty?
Guilty.
Guilty? Guilty? Not guilty? Guilty? Okay, so the initial vote is, let's see, that is what, is that 6 to 4? Or is it 7 to, who are the not guilties? Okay, so it is 7 to 3. You may begin deliberations.
We're gonna hear the verdict. We're gonna record it.
Order. Okay. Men and women of the jury, the court, we could have the defendant, Ruben Zuno, please stand. On the count of the murder of Miss Michelle Borrayo, the jury has found you guilty. Additionally, they have decided to sentence you to 25 years in prison to life. This case is adjourned. Officer Hearn, you may arrest the
I'm a fam. I'm a fam. Tundra baller. I'm a fam. Tundra baller. I'm a fam. I'm a fam. I'm a fam. I'm a fam. I'm a fan of Tundra Baller.
Times were different before my second prime. My Riz wasn't always at the greatest of all time. I didn't green my shots like a lime. Let me tell you some backstory with this rhyme. For starters, with Riz, I have a no-win-A record. Getting rejected.